So I didn't grow up in a Christian family at all, but my mom and my little brother, they had like this relationship where my mom had to go to several Sundays in a row to go to my brother's first communion preparation. And on one of those Sundays, she like felt the Holy Spirit in her heart. It was such a moving and beautiful encounters. And after that, she was all about Christianity, all about her faith with Jesus at home. And I was like, what's this? Yeah, for me, Christianity was everything that I disliked. So in terms of values, the way they treat other humans, etc. So I didn't want to hear anything about it. So once the teenage crisis passed by, and I was more relaxed about her speaking about Christian faith, etc., my heart opened more and more when I went to Oxford in 2021 during an exchange program, because all my friends, all the English person that I met were Christian. So I started to hear more and more about Christianity. And so when I came back home from my holidays, my mom told me, oh, you know, there is this TV show about Jesus. And since it's the Christmas time, you have to watch it. And I was like, oh, I don't want to watch it. You know, when I watch the chosen stuff, that is going to be cheesy and all that stuff. And I've watched the first episode with her. The one, you know, where like Jesus put his hand on Mary Magdalene, and I felt so moved and so touched by the way they portrayed Jesus that I was like, oh, if it's really like that kind, loving, everything that I did not expect Jesus would be like. So yeah, I was curious, more than curious. I think my heart was open, you know, to Jesus. I was really touched in my heart. But I had a lot of questions still. So I asked one of my friends to bring me to church because I didn't want to go to the same church as my mom went. I had this amazing experience when I went to church. I started to hear the worship music and I started to cry and to cry and to cry. and after that, I called my mom and I said to her, Mom, I don't know what happened to me. And she said, yeah, I think it's the Holy Spirit. And I was so still shocked about what happened that I was like, I had still more and more questions, you know, who is the Holy Spirit, for example. I was left like unsure of what life was like and what was the meaning of life and everything. And so my mom, she just told me, oh, you're in England, so you should just go to an Alpha course. I know that there is a lot of them there. And I went there, I went to an Alpha course back in Oxford, and I met this wonderful family, like people so welcoming, and they were so nice to me because I kept asking them question and question and question and question, and they were like answering, and they were like, oh, you know, you should check this book and this, and not judging, not once. And also was so moved by the fact that Nicky was a former lawyer, so he had this like very rational approach of faith. And it was really answering everything that I needed, and I started to understand more and more how like God was manifesting to me. And one of my friends, she offered to pray for me during the Holy Spirit weekend, and I really dedicated my life to Jesus at that moment. Everything has been different since I met Jesus, because everything is not perfect, but just you know that you have one person in the world where even if everybody was failing you, Jesus is always going to be here for you. I think for me, The Chosen touched my heart, like the TV show opened my heart to Jesus, you know, opened the door. And Alpha started to address the question, and now my life has been fully transformed.